Yeah, light is okay now. Perfect.
Okay.
Now it's okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll start the recording now. Uh, very good afternoon to all. And today we are having this webinar on a very important subject, which is actually very relevant universally. Rainwater harvesting and water resources management as strategy for climate sustainability. We all know that water is a scarce commodity. It's a natural resource, very scarce and precious. We need to save every drop of it. And we have to preserve it for dry days ahead. And like the ants preserve its food for the rainy days. Rather, we should not waste also this precious resource. And one way to do that is through the rainwater harvesting. That plays a big role. Let me just give a brief background about this webinar. Actually, proper water resource management by following sustainable practices that plays an important role in climate change mitigation efforts. We know of the untimely and excessive rains that we get these days, and that will be on one place, and in another place at the same time, there will be drought. So these are all part of the adverse impacts of climate change. So it's all the more important that our water resources are well managed. I'm taking the instance of Kerala. It's a state with abundant rains, but still during peak summer season, there are places where there is water shortage. I've just recently experienced this personally, so I would like to say about that. In the month of May this year, um, we faced a acute water shortage in my house in Trichy. We have a well there, but that was unusable water. So we had resorted to the Jal Jeevan Mission pipeline. But we were in for a surprise when we went in May to live in that house. First day there was water in the tank, but the next day we found that the water was not there. And that is the reason was the 3, 4 days the pipe water has not come. So when we inquired around, they said that in summer seasons it's like that. There are many days continuously when there are people who are dependent on this pipe water. It doesn't come. And this was the first time that I experienced this. Of course, during my short stay in Kerala. So what we did was, of course, we had the resources, so we went for a well in the same compound, another well which had good water, and that's okay now. And we are going to have a rainwater harvesting system there, plus well recharging also. So these can be done in Kerala, but elsewhere it will be different. Maybe even in Kerala, why it happens, in my little knowledge that I have, I think it may be because of the topography of the Kerala state, which is the water flows very fast into the river and sea, and it doesn't percolate down sufficiently to the groundwater level. And these days also we have all concrete structures, concrete pavements, and everything is, people tile their courtyards and all that. So the water doesn't get the chance to percolate down the ground level. So these may be some reasons, and Dr. Raicy, I'm sure she will be able to tell more reasons to this sort of phenomena. Then later on, we in Suvarna we had a awareness session under funding from AIWC. We held an awareness session for the Residents Association. There, Dr. Raicy was the chief guest or chief speaker, resource person. There she spoke so well, and in a simplified manner, she could talk to all of us about the climate change, water resource management, and the likes, and also the rainwater harvesting techniques, different rainwater. So I was just wondering whether why not we have a national webinar on this, because this, as I said, this is a universal problem across India. This is a issue, water shortage. So I thought of taking it to the national level. That is how this is, and basically the situation may be slightly different. The techniques may be different. The water rainfall incidences may be different. All those things are there, but the it will be useful that way. In Delhi, actually, when I remember rainfall in Delhi and Kerala, Delhi, we have one rainfall. We have the first rain. We'll definitely go for chai pakodi. That is the chai pakodi time. So in Kerala, we can't do that because it's almost daily affair. It will become. Now, I broached the subject with Dr. Raicy, and she was readily agreed to it. And unfortunately, we couldn't do it at the end of the month, last month, and because of the half yearly. And here she is with us. On behalf of AIWC, I would now like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Raicy. She is a scientist in the Land and Water Management Research Group of the Center for Water Resources Development and Management, CWRDM, in Kozhikode. We also have several senior persons of AIWC. We have the president of AIWC, Madam Kalyani Raji. Secretary General Manju Kagji is yet to join, I think. I'm not seeing her. Then we have Dr. Upasana Singh, Treasurer. Patrons, patrons are not. Sheila Kakdeji is there. Beena Jainji. I was looking for Beena Jainji to say first. Sheila Kakdeji is there. I extend a warm welcome to all Kalyani ji, Upasana ji, and Sheila Kakdeji. Then we have very senior members, MICs. We have Bhanumati ji. I think Asha Deshpande ji is there. Archana Deshpande, I can say, I don't know whether it is, we have Usha ji, of course, she's the main host of this webinar as always. And many others whom, Shweta is there, Indrani Sengupta ji is there, and my own colleagues, Chitra, Urmila, Madhu Saran ji is there, Asha Deshpande ji is there, Kuljit Kaur ji is just joining, Beena Jain ji is there. So I welcome Meenakshi ji, and I welcome all of you to this webinar. And there may be people who are non-AIWC members. I'm not telling each person wise, but warm welcome to all of you. Before I formally introduce Dr. Raicy and also request her to make a presentation, I would request our President Kalyani ji to say for her presidential address. Thank you, ma'am, and over to you, please.
Thank you, Bhuvneshwari, and welcome Dr. Raicy, and thank you for taking your time out for this webinar. And because as Bhuvneshwari said, depleting water resources is becoming a global issue. And we all understand that very concentrated effort is required and that too on an urgent basis. And I'm happy that Dr. Raicy, is joining us so that she will share her expertise. And just for the benefit of Dr. Raicy, I'll tell you brief about in AIWC. That we are a 98-year-old organization with more than 400 branches across India and nearly 1 lakh of members, voluntary members. And all of our branches are working, on all these important issues, creating awareness on that, developing capacity, skill development on the major issues relevant to, all the empowerment, because that's our primary focus, women empowerment. So we are taking consideration of all the issues which sort of impede the women empowerment. And of course, climate change and environment is one of the main focus area. And biodiversity, water, energy conservation, all these sort of are segments of the environment and the climate change related issues we work on. All our branches are actually working on. And being a women's organization, we try to integrate the gender part also in our work. And so we try to prioritize and sort of create awareness on how women are differently and disproportionately impacted due to climate change or other environmental issues. All our branches are working on that at the national level. And we also do a lot of work, advocacy work on this matter at the global level. I think that's broadly what our organization and related to today's topic I will speak about. With that, I hand over. Welcome all the members who have joined. Thank you, Bhuvneshwari, for arranging this webinar. And thank you once again, Dr. Raicy. Back to you, Bhuvneshwari.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for those words. And actually, I would now introduce Dr. Raicy. Actually, I'm very privileged to introduce you to. She's a very young and scholarly scientist, Dr. Raicy. She's presently working with the Land and Water Management Research Group of the Center for Water Resources Development and Management, CWRDM, in Kozhikode. Educational qualification, she's a postgraduate in geology from Kerala University, and her subject for PhD in hydrogeology from Anna University, Chennai, was assessment of feasibility of percolation pond in a saline aquifer for providing community water supply. This study centered on managed aquifer recharge to mitigate groundwater salinization along the Chennai coastal aquifer. Dr. Raicy started her career as project associate in IIT Madras, went on to as a research fellow at Anna University, was postdoctoral fellow at the Physical Research Laboratory at Ahmedabad. After serving as assistant professor in Sri Narayana College, Varkala, and Trice College in Irinjalakuda, presently she is serving with the CWRDM as scientist, as I told you. Till recently, she was with the Hydrology and Climatology research group in the same organization. She has won several fellowships and laurels. I'll just talk about the fellowships. The Indian Academy of Sciences Summer Research Fellowship, then Namaste Erasmus Mundus Exchange Fellowship from a reputed university in Spain, then Basic Science Research Fellowship from the Science and Engineering Research Board, SCRB, under the Department of Science and Technology. And she has won the Best Paper Award from the Center for Water Resources, Anna University. Dr. Raicy has had several international exposure and has participated in the biannual meeting of European Collaboration Project, SAFPANI, France, training on natural systems for water and wastewater treatment of UNESCO in Netherlands, and 6 months research exchange program in a reputed university in Spain. Even at this young age, she has to her credit a lot of journal publications, books, and contribution of chapters to several books, research projects, consultancy projects, and has presented numerous conference papers and technical reports. She's organized a number of training and other programs also. The list was quite long, so I'm not able to do complete justice, but I'm just making a brief mention of this. Presently, she is engaged in supervision of a scholar for his PhD on forecasting basin scale groundwater dynamics in response to climate change. I hope Dr. Raicy will kindly excuse me if I have left out anything, which is very important in your CV. I would now request Dr. Raicy to please share her wisdom with us. And I would also request you to advise us on any useful activities that we branches of AWC can undertake. We do undertake awareness sessions, so those such of something which can cause further the cause of the water management and conservation. That's all. Now I would hand it over to you, ma'am, for your presentation. You can share the presentation, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the introduction and kind words. First of all, I would like to thank the coordinators and conveners of the program for inviting me for this lecture series. And I would also like to congratulate all of you because this is a very grand initiative, I would say, because we all have the responsibility to fight against this climate change impacts. We need to go for mitigation and remedial measures, and we need to go for sustainable development of the environment. Sustainable, we need to go for climate change, sustainable environment. So you are all, even at this age, you can even sit with your family and enjoy your time, but still you are very vibrant and spending time for giving awareness to the people. So I would like to really congratulate you. And as a representative from a water and land management institute in Kerala, I would say this will make an impact in building a climate resilient environment in the country. So maybe I can start the presentation. My presentation is mainly that will be a kind of discussion. Let us make it as a discussion kind of time, and it will be mainly on rainwater harvesting and why we need to go for rainwater harvesting and how can we go for rainwater harvesting. So I will load the PPT now. So I think I can stop my video because we are in Wi-Fi here. So maybe in between there may be some interruptions for you. So if you want me to stop in between, you can tell me. You can stop me in between and ask questions and we will discuss and then we will move forward. And if my voice is not coming properly or it is breaking also, you can, maybe madam
The
can
voice is
message me.
okay.
Okay.
Voice is okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Voice is okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. So my full screen is not visible. Just a minute. Okay. So first of all, we will start with climate change. Why we are going for rainwater harvesting? So there comes the importance of climate change. So climate change is not a new term for us. Maybe in the past, if we tell about the past, we can tell that it is mainly due to anthropogenic activities. But if we talk about climate change in a geological perspective, it starts even maybe since last 10,000 years or 20,000 years or since the Earth's formation or since the Earth's evolution. Along with the Earth's evolution, we have been witnessing the climate change problems and climate reversals. So natural climate reversals can be seen in the Earth's evolution history. So maybe you might have heard about the ice ages. For example, nearly 12,000 years back, we had an ice age. So that was a rapid cooling event. And in between the ice ages, we had warmer and wetter conditions also. So similar way, we have been witnessing cooler and warmer epochs along the Earth's evolution. And these changes are mainly due to several factors. That may be volcanic activity, or we know that Earth is having the revolution and rotation, right? So due to the orbital variations, we can have serious climate change impacts. And nowadays, we have in recent past anthropogenic influences also. Now, for example, in chemical reactions, we add catalysts to increase the rate of the reaction, right? So similar way, in climate change also, we are adding some extra catalysts like anthropogenic impacts. For example, we are using fossil fuel, right? So fossil fuel emissions and similar way land use has been changing, right? So these land use changes and fossil fuel emissions can contribute to climate change. And these are actually anthropogenic impacts apart from the natural impacts. Especially in India, this is very important because we have a dense population and also a climate sensitivity. We are a climate sensitive country, and so the mitigation and the adaptation is very crucial, and it is demanding also. And we are, though we are a developing country, we have a very high population, and so managing and adaptation of climate change effects is very crucial. And the greenhouse emissions, if we talk about the greenhouse emissions, we know that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, right? So we emit carbon dioxide every day. And in India, we know that we don't have much regulations also. We are burning the plastics. We are having plastic production in India, and we have our own cooking styles, traditional cooking styles. So all this will contribute or release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. And maybe because of that, or along with the natural reasons, this will make India as the seventh ranked country among the most climate affected countries globally. If we take the climate risk index of many countries, this you can see in this picture, the India is in red color, and the red and orange colors mainly indicate most climate risk index countries. Okay. So this ranking actually reflects the frequency and severity of climate-related disasters. For example, floods. We are witnessing floods and droughts, then cyclones, heat waves in many parts of the country. This map is actually generated using the data from 2000 to 2019. That is 19 years, recent years data has been used for preparing the climate risk index. So this is global scenario, and here if we concentrate more on India, we can see that nearby India some other countries are also there, and these countries form a cluster, and for example, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Philippines, right? So these countries are in the red category. That means that is a climate hotspot in the Southeast Asia. And adding to the greenhouse gases, we have, apart from carbon dioxide, we have methane. Then what else is there? Nitrous oxide is there. So all these are greenhouse gases. So we emit all these gases without any policy constraints, and recognizing these emissions and our challenges, government of India has already developed some global commitments also. That also we have to mention here. we know that development is also important. We cannot completely stop the production of plastics, or we cannot stop the burning of plastics, right? So that will be there, and that is necessary for the development. And we should be also responsible for the sustainable climate resilience, right? So this is a dual challenge of development and the climate responsibility. So government of India has made some commitments. One of them is, you might have heard about the Paris Agreement, right? India already committed to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. So we have 6 years to go, and we will be reducing the emissions by 35%, I think. 30 to 35% will be reducing, and this will anyway contribute to reduce or limit the global warming impacts. And also there is another scheme, carbon marketing, that is also going to be operational by 2026. That is Indian National Carbon Trading or something. So that will also come in effectiveness in by 2026. As part of that, some carbon allowances will be given and introduced to the people, because we know that traditional cooking systems will be there in villages, right? So these cooking systems, for especially for low income households, they will encourage in these traditional cooking systems, though they have LPG and other facilities. So we need to upgrade and reduce this indoor air pollution and carbon emissions, so that the government will be offering carbon credits. In that way, the families will be getting credits, or big companies or business people will also get carbon. They can also purchase carbon credits. They can give money to the government, and they can give the carbon credits, so that if they are releasing this much carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, they have to pay the government. In that way, they will be like, in their mind, they will have an impression that if they use more carbon dioxide generating products, then they may have to charge more, like that. And yeah, we know that I don't need to explain more on this impacts, how it is impacting on the daily life and livelihoods. The first thing is extreme weather, weather extremes, right? Weather extremes in the sense, these days we are witnessing very heavy and rapid rainfall, right? For short periods of time, we get more intensity rainfall and flash floods, right? Especially in Assam, Bihar, in Kerala also, and in coastal cities, we have been witnessing this for the last few years. And also droughts have been reported in many states, cyclones, then heat waves, especially in Chennai or Gujarat. Those in those areas, we can see heat waves are there. And the temperature is also rising, and the average temperature rise is nearly 0.7 across the last century. This is reported by IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, and it is again expected to rise by 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050. That means again more evaporation may come, and more groundwater stress may come, and more intense climate events may come. And this will ultimately impact the agricultural productivity, and may cause water stress also. Because erratic monsoons, we know that sometimes we may have heavy rainfall, and after that there is no rain. So people will extract more groundwater, and it ultimately cause groundwater stress. And there will be very less agricultural production also. Otherwise, we may have to change the crop pattern. And in urban areas, we don't need to mention at all, because we frequently see urban flooding, right? Due to poor drainage and intense rainfall, urban flooding is a common scenario in many of the metro cities nowadays. And this will ultimately affect the water quality also. And we have BIS guidelines for drinking water quality. Sometimes along the coastal regions and other cities where urban flooding is frequent, the drainage will be mixed up with the shallow groundwater, and again people have to drink that water, and many diseases may come. And other important parameter is ecosystem laws. We know forest composition has changed now, and there is a decline in biodiversity. And corals, especially in Lakshadweep and other areas, there is a bleaching of natural coral systems is also there. So there are many impacts in every part of our life by the climate change. So if we see the long-term impacts of these are like short-term impacts. If we see the long-term impacts of climate change, the main thing is groundwater depletion because of very high temperature and evaporation. Sometimes some crops may need more water, like for example rice. We need more water, right? So then people will overextract the groundwater, and it will cause groundwater depletion. And because we are extracting more water, but there is not much rainfall for recharge. So then comes an imbalance. Why I am saying so is we have very rapid rainfall, and the overall annual rainfall will be very high. But the problem is the rainfall we are getting is very rapid, so that there is no time for water to infiltrate the soil and recharge the ground. Most of the water will be losing or moving as runoff, and it will reach the nearby surface water bodies, and ultimately it will reach the ocean. So the infiltration part will be very less. That's why though we have enormous rainfall, we have very less recharge and groundwater stress during the next immediately after the rainfall season. And also along the coastal regions, we have groundwater threats. We know that sea level has been rising, and this may cause saltwater intrusion. In fact, I was also studying the impacts of saltwater intrusion and how the rainwater harvesting can mitigate the impacts of this saltwater intrusion along the Chennai coastal aquifer. I'll be coming to that later in the coming slide. And then comes groundwater quality degradation. I have already mentioned that if more water is pumped out from the formation or the subsurface, then there won't be any much dilution. Dilution means when fresh rainfall is recharging into the ground, the ions in water will get diluted. If no recharge is taking place, then more ions from the soil will be leaching into the groundwater, and it will cause groundwater contamination. Now, so in that way, groundwater quality will get degraded. So now what can we do for that? How we can mitigate these issues? One of the main mitigation strategy is rainwater harvesting, because we have sufficient quantity of rainfall, and if it is a slow rainfall then it is a normal rainfall, it is fine. But nowadays we are getting very rapid rainfall, so there is no scope of direct recharge. So we have to go for artificial recharge. That means artificially we will collect the water, and we are recharging into the subsurface or the formation or the aquifer. Aquifer means the water holding formation below the surface. Surface is called aquifer. So and that means it is not like the water which we can see in the well is not a single layer of water. It is just a soil formation only, but in that layer, all the spaces in between the pore spaces or the soil particles will be completely filled with water, not like the surface soil. In surface soil, the spaces in between the soil particles will be filled with air. But in the aquifer formation or the water holding formation, the pore spaces will be completely filled with water. That is the difference. So we have to recharge those zones, the water holding formation, should be recharged artificially. That is also called artificial recharge, managed aquifer recharge. We are recharging the aquifer, or we are managing the aquifer. Actually, rainwater harvesting is a type of managed aquifer recharge. And another mitigation strategy is promotion of water efficient agriculture. So this is in practice now, especially in northern states. But in Kerala, I think it is not much effective because we are very back in agriculture. We are not agriculture dominant state. So water efficient agriculture, in the sense, we can shift the water intensive crops like sugarcane, rice, etc., and we can cultivate millets, then oil seeds. These do not need much water, so we can introduce such kind of cultivation techniques, cultivation. And also we can introduce micro irrigation. Micro irrigation, in the sense, you might have seen many people are these days using drip and sprinkler. So these can conserve a lot of water. At least more than 50% of water can be conserved. And also another method is precision agriculture. That is also very actively practiced in northern states, especially in Gujarat, Rajasthan. I have seen acres of land will be cultivated. So they cannot go directly into the field, and they cannot see whether any problem is there. So they can even use remotely sensed data, or remote sensing, or sensors, airborne sensors can be used, and they can detect whether the rice needs some more protein, not protein, micro vitamins or something. I don't know, micronutrients, right? So those has to be added in that area. So similar way, we can go for very advanced technologies, and weather also we can predict it. Micro level weather prediction technologies are there. So for acres of land, people can be assisted with weather based irrigation scheduling, and soil moisture sensors can be used. So if sensors detect that one area has very less moisture, then they can even check that with the remotely accessed sensors. So like that, we can go for precision agriculture, which will ultimately give more productivity. And another mitigation strategy is water recycling. I have seen in Chennai and other metro cities, the wastewater will be treated and recycled, recycled and then recirculated to the city use, and especially for non-potable use and agricultural or toilet flushing, people can use that treated water. And anyway, we don't have the mindset to use the water for inside domestic purposes, but still we can use it for toilet flushing and other purposes. And the sludge will be removed, and that can be used for making fertilizers, and that is an income source for the government. And such decentralized wastewater treatment plants can be promoted even in village scale. So that will be very good mitigation strategy. Another one is protection of traditional water bodies. We know that temple ponds and step wells, then tanks, normal ponds will be there everywhere. Even, and these natural structures or water holding structures have been deteriorating. In land use board survey, there is a reduction in the number of ponds. I have seen that. So, in such cases, there is a reduction in water holding structures. That means we cannot store that quantity of water again. This year we may have one pond, and next after 2 years, if it is not there, that quantum of water has to be accommodated somewhere else, right? So otherwise, that quantum of water will also contribute to the floods in the area. So in that way, the deterioration of ponds will contribute to urban flooding and other climate change impact. So we can protect and revive or rejuvenate such natural ponds or other water holding structures. For example, large wetlands are there in Kerala and even in other states I have seen. If you see the Google Map imagery of 2010 and 2025, you can see the variations. The size of percolation ponds, size of ponds or natural ponds or lakes or this one tanks. And another important point is policy. There is not much strong policies in India. So it is from government level, we have to strengthen the policies, especially for groundwater. So strengthening groundwater governance through scientific aquifer planning. Aquifer means water holding formation, subsurface. Subsurface planning is necessary, and we need to budget the water for every institute, especially for CWRDM. We have a water budget. Similar way, every institutions, larger institutions like schools, hospitals should have water budgeting, and also for the state itself should have water budgeting. How much water is necessary? How much water we are using? How much is still? How much we have? How much is needed extra? Like that, we need to budget the water requirements. So now it is clear why we are going for rainwater harvesting, because we have enormous rainfall, but immediately after rainfall, there is no water for drinking, especially towards the highlands, there is no water, and in wells, water level has been declining. So now, when water is available, it is just going as runoff to the streams and the surface water bodies and ultimately to the ocean. So we are storing that excess water either in the surface or in the subsurface. Based on our convenience, we can conserve the water for later use or when water is not available. So when water is available, we are conserving, and when water is not available, we are reusing the water. These are some scenarios from Kerala. During flood season, we have a huge quantity of water, and during the summer season we don't have water. So there are different kinds of rainwater harvesting. The common one is roof water harvesting. We can maybe from every household, we can conserve the water from the roofs, and either we can conserve the water in the surface. This is a surface tank, and or we can conserve underneath, and some excess quantity can be recharged to the ground also. So here two types of structures are shown. One is the subsurface tank, and another one is both are like these two are subsurface tanks. And when the water is completely filled in this tank, then the excess water can be transferred to the well. Well means that can be open well, or that can be bore well, just for recharging the ground, artificially recharging the ground. When recharging the ground, we should also know whether the area is suitable for recharging, artificially recharging. Because in slopy terrains, if we construct such structures, there may be a possibility of collapse. So we need to understand how the geology or lithology of the area behaves, and how it responds to the excess recharge. If there is any chance that there may be a possibility of a slide, or like we have been witnessing landslides, right? Similar way, if there is a collapse, a chance of collapse, then we should not go for underground storage. Instead, we can go for surface storage. So this is an expanded view of roof water harvesting. We will be collecting the water from the roof, and we have to have a suitable filter system. And in this picture, I think filter is not shown. Yeah, this here we have shown one filter. So the filter is generally used to remove all the impurities of water except the microbiological residues. So microbiological residues are not considered for well recharging here. So apart from that, leaves and other small items will be removed by this filter, because when we are directly recharging the aquifer, we should ensure the quality of water that is being transferred to the ground, because during natural recharging, it is transferred to the ground through the subsurface soil layers. So soil is a good filter media. So it will be naturally filtered before reaching the groundwater. So for direct recharge also, we should ensure the quality of water. Another important type of rainwater harvesting is recharge wells. That is what is shown in the right side here, recharge facility. First, we will be filling the surface or subsurface tank, and after 1 hour or 2 hours, it will be completely filled, and the remaining water will be recharged to the ground. So the surface tank, the water in the surface tank can be readily available, and the other water will be recharging the formation, and it will be useful for the nearby families also. If I am recharging my well, then it will be moving, because subsurface water is continuously moving with respect to the elevation of the area or topography of the area. So it will rejuvenate the whole area regionally, and it will be useful for the nearby families also along the flow direction. Flow direction means it will flow along with the corresponding to the elevation. So this is just like a case study from Tamil Nadu, from the Dharmapuri district. That area has granitic and pyroxenite rocks. That is the type of rock which is relevant for you. So there, the problem was fluoride ion was released into groundwater when water is slowly infiltrating through the soil column. So that is mainly because of, no, that is not anthropogenic. That is mainly because of the rock type in the area. So people were reported to have the skeletal and dental fluorosis. In the pictures, it can be seen. So what we have done is, this map just shows the fluorosis risk. That is also, I think, irrelevant for you. What we have done is, we have collected the rainwater from the nearby area, and after filtering, we recharged one well, and then how it impacts the fluoride level, that we investigated. Because if it is if it is naturally recharging through the soil, definitely the fluoride will be released from the soil and the rocks. But if we are not recharging naturally, and we are recharging only by artificial recharge, or we are directly recharging the well, that means the infiltrating the water in the well is not in direct contact with the formation soil. So the release of fluoride from the soil column will be very less. So in that way, we design the duct well recharge structure, and then analyze the fluoride concentration. I'm not showing the result here because it may not be interesting for you. So then after 1 year, when we analyzed, the fluoride concentration was very less immediately after the rainfall. But immediately after the rainfall, for the previous years, the fluoride concentration was very high because of the release of fluoride during the recharge. So what I am going to tell is this will improve the groundwater quantity and also the groundwater quality sometimes. If one well has very high concentration of ions, for example, chloride ion concentration is very high, and if it is beyond the permissible limits of BIS standards, then if we are infiltrating, if we are giving more recharging water to the well, it can dilute the chloride concentration, right? So maybe after a few years, it will be within the BIS standards. This is another study in Chennai. We have constructed one percolation pond. This may not be feasible in Kerala or any other metro cities, but for farmers, this is very feasible because they may have acres of land, and this may be for 5 cents, spending 5 cents for recharging the groundwater may not be a big deal for them. So we constructed a percolation pond somewhere in this region because in Chennai, due to over extraction of groundwater for municipal water supply, the sea water has intruded to the land up to 16 kilometers. In 2012, it was up to 16 kilometers. So what we have done is, in this area also the seawater intrusion was there. So what we have done is that we have constructed series of percolation ponds so that during rainy season more water, fresh water will be recharged along the coastline, and this will ultimately push this fresh water will ultimately push the saline water towards the sea, because here a pressure, very high pressure zone will be there. Saline water pressure will be more, and here in the land there will be fresh water pressure, and if we are increasing the fresh water pressure, then definitely it will push the saline water towards the sea. That was the concept. Okay. So based on that, we have constructed the percolation pond and then investigated how the groundwater quality has been improved. So here also I am not showing the result, but this is how its water level has changed. Here water level is not changed much because water level was just 2 meters below the surface only, even naturally. So our intention was to give more fresh water and dilute the saline water, and we could successfully achieve the objective. And again, after 1 year, we again constructed one recharge shaft, that is just like a pipe structure, and a perforated pipe was installed at the center of the structure, and we because in between we had a clay layer. So if clay layer is there, what will happen is this water will not directly recharged. A lot of water cannot be directly recharged. So we bypassed that clay layer by constructing one pipe, perforated pipe at the center of the pond, and we tried to recharge the pond water directly into the aquifer. So then the recharge dilution and the dilution of ions. For example, before the construction of this, if the concentration of chloride was 300 milligrams per liter, after the construction of this structure, the concentration became 100 milligrams per liter. 3 times reduction happened after the construction of recharge show. shaft. That is the impact of direct recharge of water into the aquifer. In fact, percolation pond is directly not directly recharging the aquifer. It is through the natural filtration only. So if we do not want the water to directly contact with the soil, then we have to go for such recharge shaft or direct ductile recharge structure, something like that. This is another kind of runoff harvesting method, but this is bit expensive structure, check dams, and government level initiatives should be there. And this is also for mitigating seawater intrusion. This is constructed in Chennai. And here I will just show one map. Here you can understand after seeing this map that this is the check dam area, and nearby check dam area was highly getting benefited because of the recharge from the check dam. This is immediately after the rainfall. We have surveyed the groundwater level of the nearby area, but obviously the groundwater quality became very worse because the water is mostly coming from the catchment area, and mostly in Tamil Nadu cow dung will be there and other impurities were there. So in wells, water quality was very less after the recharge, but water quantity was improved, and that was the need of farmers there, because they just wanted the water for irrigation. So this is another impact of rainfall, this rainfall water during. Okay, I will tell the background of this. This is actually one river in Tamil Nadu, and here in the first picture we can see that this part water level is very deep and this part water level is shallow, but this direction is towards the ocean. The area where N is written, north is written, is the sea. So the water level, obviously the water level in this area should be at a higher level, but here we can see that water from the sea is directly coming to the land through this canal. So one small bund has constructed, and this is also a kind of water harvesting structure only, but here actually the purpose is different, that's all. So similar kind of bunds can be constructed along the small rivers, and especially rivers where flooding is occurred frequently, we can construct small bunds so that this water can be harvested. The groundwater will be recharged. The purpose of this slide is just to show the bunds, but the scenario is different. Okay. And conventional RWH practices are there for every state. I am showing some conventional practices of Kerala, and I have seen many conventional practices in Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, and in fact a very beautiful step well I have seen, and something called Rani Ki Vav or something like that I have seen. Very beautiful traditional structures are there. So such structures can be revived and rejuvenated for water harvesting, and the water can be used for domestic and other purposes for nearby people. And these are some temple ponds. Temple ponds are there everywhere, and these are actually water harvesting, traditional water harvesting structure. And in such structures, people may hesitate to pollute normally, and so such structures can have more impact on groundwater conservation. And high bunds are there everywhere in every state. These are actually paleo channels in the sense In geological past, maybe before 10,000 years back, this areas might have been a river, and geomorphological changes might have happened, and it has become a paleo channel. Clay lenses will be there, clay layers will be there, so it can hold water. Clay layer can hold water, but it cannot transmit water to the subsurface. So water will be there during the monsoon season, rainy season, and in that way we can use for agriculture and other purposes. And also another practice in Kerala is coconut pits. Coconut pits is a traditional method of cleaning the coconut nearby coconut trees, and that is also a water harvesting method. And another option is like coconut husk. We will make a trench, or coconut husk will be packed in that, and water will be directed. The water from the nearby catchment area will be directed to the trench, and water will be filtered by the husk, and it will be directly recharging the ground. So these are just state level, not state level. In every state, they have their own traditional practices. We can even now we can go back to the traditional practices to improve the groundwater recharge, and thereby we can conserve groundwater. So how do this benefit the ground? I will just finish in 2 slides now. So here in this picture, we can see that this is the subsurface and this is the well. We are directly recharging the water from the roof to the ground. So there may be many layers in the subsurface. So the top layer is what we can see when planting a tree or while digging. Okay, so these different colors, colored layers may be there, maybe because of the differential weathering process. Weathering is the formation of soil process. All these soils are formed from the rocks only by a weathering process. Weathering means by temperature or pressure or the time of contact with water, these rocks may undergo different kinds of disintegration, and thereby we have soil layers. And if you remove one soil layer once, it will take many years to build another soil layer. It is a very, very slow process. It is a geological process. And in geological time, more thicker soil layers will form. That's what is happening. So depending upon the host rock in the area, different kinds of layers will be there, and depending upon the degree of weathering process, different types of soil will be there. So we can have sandy layer, we can have clay layer. So what is the implications of these layers? Clay means it can hold water, but it won't transmit. In such an area, if more water is coming, that area may get flooded. And if sandy aquifer is there, or sandy formation or sandy layer is there, if more water is recharging into the ground, all water will go inside, because sand can transmit water also, and transmit water and can hold water. So in that way, every layer has its own permeability factors, water permeability characteristics. So we have to find out whether the layer or the depth of the well where we are recharging. If it is above the clay layer, then there is no use. If we are recharging, it will get flooded. That's all. It won't recharge. If it is in the sandy layer, it will get more water. So that is the case. And in the right side, we can see where we need to go for recharging. So here there is a well, right? So from this well, we are continuously extracting groundwater for some municipal supply or domestic supply or industrial activities. So after some time, the water table or the water level in the area near the well will have a cone of depression. That means the water level near the well start to decline. So this if more wells are there extracting more what or high quantity of very high quantity of water, then the regional groundwater level in the area declines. And we know that we have very rapid rainfall events, so the infiltration will be very less, because only for very low intense rainfall infiltration will become percolation, right? That means infiltration through the soil will reach the ground level or the water table. Otherwise it will reach up to this root level and stops. And for intense rainfall, what will happen is all rainwater will go as surface runoff, and there is very less recharge. So that is what is happening nowadays. So more water is extracting and there is very less natural recharge. Then this water level will not get rejuvenated. That and thereby there will be groundwater level decline and groundwater stress. That's why even in bore wells, when the time of construction, the water level may be 45 meters. Then after 2 years, our extraction will be very high and there is very less recharge. So the water level may decline. Then water will not be coming in the borewell like that. So this is how RWH works. When we recharge, we will be recharging the water to the groundwater level, and then the groundwater level reverses back to the normal water level. So where we need to go for rainwater harvesting? For every state, I have taken this map for Kerala only. Not this is not common for all the states. So for every state, Central Groundwater Board, they are the team for water level monitoring and sustainable actions. They are in charge of that, and they have been making the or they have been categorizing different blocks in the country into semi-critical, critical, and safe zones. That means safe zone means we don't need to go for rainwater harvesting structures as of now, but we can go for the future. But in the critical and semi-critical zones, we have very less quantum of water as of now, and we need to go for rainwater harvesting structures for the rejuvenation of aquifers. So similar way, they have already made the maps, the areas suitable for artificial recharge and suitable specific areas which are suitable for artificial recharge for all the states. Based on that, we have to concentrate more on those areas. Yeah, that's all. Maybe if you have any comments or suggestions, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That was very nice. It was a really interesting presentation. Now we know that, that day I was differently busy, so I could not listen as much as, during our awareness session. But this was really clear and we could learn a lot. I could learn a lot personally. And of course, we knew a lot of what the other benefits are. We just thought it is only storing. It's all about storing water for the future. Anyway, even the slides and the presentation and your explanation was really simple. And now, before I open the floor for the interactive session, we have Dr. Manju Garg. Ma'am, you are there. She had joined. Oh, she's not seen now. 1 minute. She's there. Ma'am, you are there? No. Okay, I wanted Dr. Manju Garg, our Secretary General, to speak a few words. She had
आगे
told
से
me
होगा
so.
ना, नीचे से चला जाएगा.
Huh? Sorry. Now in her absence, let her come back. Then we'll just tell her to speak. Now we have Dr. Upasana ji here with us. She's Can I request Dr. Upasana ji to speak a few words and some comments on the presentation? Upasana
Yeah,
ji, yeah.
yes,
When Manju ma'am
Bhuvneshwari,
comes
thank you so much. Thank
here.
you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I must say the topic was very, very interesting. And nowadays, as we all know, that water has become a scarcity, globally. And there are many countries and many cities that they are totally deprived of, fresh water, and they are only depending on RO and all these things. So I think that today's presentation will help us all um, in paying attention towards this topic. And it is very important to, train our youngsters, our youth about this topic, and work towards it, jointly. And we must start a crusade of this rainwater harvesting also, because this is a rainy season. And as we all know that many states are and all. So if we work together in the right direction, I think this will be very beneficial for all of us. So once again, I will congratulate to the speaker and to you, Bhuvneshwari, for taking up this important topic. And um, all the best. And we look forward for many such, webinars on such environmental topics. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhuvneshwari.
Thank you, Upasana ji. Thank you so much. I just spoke to Dr. Manjuka. She said she had a crisis and she had to leave, but she's just be joining in a minute. So in the meanwhile, we have Beena Jain ma'am. Oh God, she is also not. I think she was there. Now she's our patron. And Sheila Kakreji is there. So let's see if Beena ji will come back. Sheila Kakreji, our patron, is there. I would request, ma'am, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, yes, Bhuvneshwari, it was really very interesting. Thanks a lot to Dr. Raicy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving this very, very detailed information. I would like to know more about how we can do the water saving, rainwater harvesting in the city. I stay in Mumbai, and we have in rainy season, we have lot of water, going west to the sea. So hardly anybody uses any of the methods.
Uh, Hello.
Yes, I can
Madam.
hear you.
Actually, recently we have done a study for Maharashtra. So there we could see that um, to west and east of this Western Ghats, the
Yes.
hill tracts, like the highlands, uh, we had different kinds of um, recharge patterns and also the groundwater quality scenarios. So immediately just after towards the east to eastern parts, there is good quality water, and along the northwest of this Western Ghats also they have good quality water. But coming towards the coastal regions, we have patches of very bad quality water also. But we also face some issues while publishing the report, because um, the people will be in panic, because if we publish that the groundwater quality is very less in the area, people will be in panic, and the government may take some actions also. So our paper for 1 year, for last 1 year, we are trying to publish but
You mean
there
to
are
say
some
the quality of the groundwater is very bad?
quality of groundwater everywhere. Like even in Kerala, though we are getting very high rainfall, and we say that we have very good quality water. In some wells, we have very bad quality water. Similar way in Mumbai also, we got some very bad quality water in some wells. So the place to place it will vary, and geogenic causes will be there in one part, and in a city like Mumbai, definitely anthropogenic issues will be there.
Yeah.
Sometimes there may be leak from some drainage,
Yes.
or some industrial discharge will be
Yeah.
there. Without any treatment, people will be discharging into surface water bodies. So this from surface water bodies, water will be infiltrating to the groundwater also. That water will be extracting. So that problem will be there, and along the coastal saline intrusion will also be there, because surface water bodies like estuaries will be there. So some canals will be attached to the land, uh,
Yes.
like that will be draining into the sea. So sometimes water will be coming, and it is very low land, because the depth to groundwater level is very less. A shallow groundwater level is there, so the chances of groundwater quality deterioration is very high. So there are very numerous factors affecting
Okay.
groundwater quality,
Yeah.
and for groundwater quality improvements, I don't know such a metropolitan city how, and very shallow water table. I'm not a person to suggest a very good method for improving the groundwater quality of a very shallow aquifer with a very contaminated groundwater.
Okay.
Uh, mm, because it will keep on increasing, right? The groundwater quality
Yeah,
deterioration.
because these days in new constructions, they have made it compulsory to have rainwater harvesting in each tower,
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And in some
But
cities, it
that
has
water,
become
I don't
mandatory.
know whether we can use it, maybe only for gardening and
When
car
we,
washing.
yeah, when we conserve water in the rooftop, we can use it for non-potable uses.
No, the
Can
groundwater.
limit. Oh, okay. Maybe not towards the coastal end, and maybe towards the mid part, and towards the eastern part, we can go for recharging
Okay.
strategies.
Okay.
But that is always based on the subsurface geological conditions. We cannot tell directly from here, because I have
Yes.
visited very couple of times,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know much geology
Anyway,
of the
thank you
area.
so much.
So
Yes.
based on the geology only, we have
Okay.
to go for, because sometimes even with direct percolation, we will be diluting we will be what, deteriorating the quality of aquifer also. So that should not happen. So for that,
Okay.
we should have a detailed understanding of the area,
Yes. Yeah.
and
Testing and all that.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Raicy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Manjuka has joined. She had to leave in between, and she'll just speak. She is our
Yeah,
Secretary General.
Okay.
yeah.
Ma'am,
Thank
it's
you so much, Bhuvneshwari. I'm sorry there was a small problem, but this was a very informative talk. And water, as you know, without water, what are we? So this is something you have touched the nerve of the whole existence and the whole, pivotal part of our environment, climate change, sustainable development platform, the trilogy of these three. So, and Dr. Rancy, in such a very nice way, I was watching her charts and the way she has put everything diagrammatically, shown the way we can actually conduct it. I don't know if she's an architect or not, but it had that architectural perfection in explaining to us visually what we can actually do because the whole thing is, theoretically we have heard so many things that possible, but when you bring it down to a country like ours, when you take small steps which can actually make a change, that is the most important thing, the practicality of seeing that we can do it. So thank you very much for arranging this, Bhuvaneshwari. And you have yet to arrange the one which I mentioned to you about water and ocean, since we are on the subject of water, but we will talk about it separately. Now, in a practical point of view, I think you can give these suggestions to some of our awareness programs, and it can be included in a way that we can incorporate some suggestions in any meaningful way to know the different programs. And we can have the guidance of Dr. Rancy how to make that into something that our branches can avail of. Thank you very much,
Sure.
and a great opportunity. Congratulations to the speaker and to all our members.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
thank you. Ma'am, thank you. I have it in my mind, ma'am, about the oceans, and yeah, I'll be doing it sometime soon. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, can
I
we
want to
open the
just say
floor?
one more thing. One thing, Bhuvaneshwari, is that each and every time you have startled us by the speakers you find and the in-depth knowledge that they show. So please keep it up. And it is really every time you come with a very meaningful webinar in which the speaker is an expert in whatever he or she is speaking on. Thank you. Keep it up.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, can we move on to, we can have the interactions. We have uh,
Can I
many
speak,
people.
Bhuvneshwar ji?
Meenakshi
Bhuvneshwar ji,
ji.
I
Yeah,
have
sure,
a
sure.
question.
Madam,
First of all, thank you very much for this interesting webinar, Bhuvneshwar ji, and Dr. Raicy, for congratulations for speaking so deeply about the subject. My question is, like in the beginning, you mentioned about carbon trading. So, can you just, I mean, inform us a little more as to how does this actually take place? Because carbon trading is something intangible aspect that we are talking about. So, I just wanted to know a little more about this.
Madam, actually, that will be coming, I think, in operational, I think by 2026, by next year only. Um, it That order has come in 2022, I think. So for every institute, a carbon budget will be there. So how much carbon they are releasing, that amount will be calculated. And I think 3 gigatons, not 3 gigatons, some limit is there. I'm not an expert on that. So beyond that, if the carbon release is there, then the institute or the organization has to uh, buy the credits or something like that. I am also not aware much about that. But the government will pay if they are within the limit, something like that. Some rule is coming. So and for every household this will be applicable, and something like that. I am also not much aware of that, uh, but maybe when it is in practice we will get to
Yeah.
know more about that.
Maybe like electricity meters we have. So, we'll have
Yeah, something like that. And even in Kerala, we also have one carbon budget project. So even in CWRDM website, there is one option to find out the carbon like budgeting or something. So
Ma'am,
that option will be in practice by next year, I think.
ma'am, sorry to intervene. Actually, this is a very vast, separate subject. We'll be having a separate, webinar on such subjects, which are really. Let us now move
Hi.
on to, because we have to finish our webinar by about 5:10 and all that. Like so, let's.
Madam,
Meenakshi ji. Meenakshi ji, thank you for the question. And we'll definitely have something in the future. First.
Thank you
There
very
are
much.
others who would like to. Uh, uh, Kuljit ji, Asha ji,
Madam, I
Bhanumati ji. Oh, I know you have to
yes.
leave. Uh, if somebody can have a quick word, some comments, Kuljit ji, Asha
Bhuvneshwari,
ji. Yeah,
can I
yeah,
come in? Can I
yeah,
come
yeah,
in?
yeah. We can stick to the this subject today.
Let me congratulate you at the outset for the wonderful webinar that you've conducted, and also congratulate the speaker for a very in-depth knowledge,
Thank
reliable
you.
information. And I'm sure we'll all benefit from this. And rainwater harvesting is actually the need of the hour. I don't know about Kerala, but in Delhi, mostly it is practiced in all the societies and in the offices, etc., and everywhere. And the I don't know what the Kerala state government gives any benefits for those or gives any subsidies for those who want to do rainwater harvesting, but Delhi they do. So it must be promoted, and that is the only way that we can keep up the groundwater level at the required level that it should be. And thank you once again. Wonderful experience and wonderful hearing you talk and your presentation. And congrats again, once again, Bhuvneshwari.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Even in Kerala, we have subsidies for surface tanks, rainwater harvesting tanks. But for subsurface recharging, until now, we don't have. But because we don't have much water scarcity issues because of the enormous rainfall, it is around 3,000 mm rainfall we are receiving every year. So that much issues we don't have until now. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Rameshwari.
Thank you.
Ma'am, again, Rameshwari.
Okay, Bhuvneshwari, sorry. Bhuvneshwari. But out of love, I say Rameshwari. I know you are Bhuvneshwari. I must congratulate you. You always touch very important topics, even after attending the COP also. You give clear picture of what happened over there. So similarly, today also the topic is very important, very interesting. And on top of that, the speaker also gave us information in a very clear way. The diagrams, the PPT she showed, she conveyed the message in clear words. So thank you so much for organizing. And as Asha has said that in Delhi, in housing societies, we have rainwater, this thing, a program is there and government gives subsidy also, but still Delhi is always facing a problem, water shortage. So this type of awareness is very useful for all of us because we can also guide the management of our society. Thank you so much, Bhuvneshwari, for arranging this seminar. And my congratulations, Dr. Raicy. At such a young age, you have got such a great knowledge and you are teaching to the people like us who are so elderly. Thanks a lot. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, then shall
Hello.
we? Yeah, Asha ji.
Huh.
Boliye Asha ji.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate how she has explained us and very well. But I really felt it very much for our city because in our city we have abundant of water and rain harvesting is a compulsory for the new buildings and but still whenever the new construction is there, so if since the Pune is having full of water, when they dug it for the new construction, the full water is coming out and that water is not saved by the corporation, which is a very big problem because it should be done by the corporation only, so that that water can be saved for the construction also and also for the further grow of the city. That is my question, and I really felt it very much because I see every day our area is developing, and every day the old building will be done into the new construction, and this water is going on. So it should be actually it should be this type of lecture should be given to the corporation people also, and for us also individually we should see that we should conserve the water. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ushaji, can we have you can for the concluding remarks and then we can move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Raicy. That was a very interesting, elaborate presentation. You have covered the topic and explained it in great detail. And you have given specific methods of doing this rainwater harvesting, which I think will be very helpful to our members. Maybe some of them can adopt such practices or even advise their resident welfare associations for doing something. Thank you so much. AIWC, actually, we have been focusing on rainwater harvesting and creating awareness also for many, many years. In our head office in Delhi, we have rainwater harvesting structures. We had made some demonstration structures way back. Mrs. Kalpagam Yechuri was in charge of the portfolio at that time, and she had taken great interest. And we still have some of them in our head office, I think. And water has been in our webinars, we have focused on water, and we had very eminent speakers also. We had Rajendra Singh, the waterman of Rajasthan. He spoke to us about his work. Then we had Kalpana Ramesh from Hyderabad. She has done a lot of work in restoring the water bodies within the city. And then recently we had Mr. Vishwanath discussing the water problem in Bangalore. So he was telling us how Bangalore city is facing a problem and what are the steps that they are taking to tackle the problem. So it has been a topic of a very great interest for us also. And that is why you are in that series of talks on water management. And thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll be reaching out to you for advice and help whenever we require. And for awareness programs, maybe we could work out a short content for our awareness programs. If you can help us to do that,
Sure.
we can pass it on to our branches, and then they can conduct water awareness programs based on scientifically designed syllabus. So I hope we'll be able to work together on that. And I think that I will close my remarks because Bhanumati has to leave and I think wind up this thing also. Thank you so much, Bhuvaneshwari, and congratulations for a very nice webinar.
Thank you, Ushaji. I too had some questions, but I'll talk to you later because of the time constraint today. Bhanumati ji, kindly,
Right. Vote of thanks, not vote of thanks. Just before giving vote of thanks, I add few points. Because as an MSc of water conservation and sanitation, I have registered myself in the central government's water Jal Shakti Niwad. Nari Shakti se Jal Shakti. That webinar, once they have they said water security is most important and the role of youth and women. They have mentioned about that role of youth and women is more critical, most important also. What we can achieve together is greater than what we achieve alone, individually. That's the most important. The participation of public and private sectors is most important. And the role of parents and children, role of teachers and students. So you have to teach the children from their childhood onwards, and just little points only. Just close the tap while you are brushing, and close the tap while you are washing the clothes, or to the servant maids also, like these points, and their teachers also. How to use the water in their schools and how to harvest the water, and about the importance of water. There is a need to tell everyone and from the childhood. So that I think everyone will agree that the role of parents, teachers, and students as children and as students also. And this is the thing. And we are doing this water projects everywhere, and we are doing this beach cleaning project also in Kakinada. That is that where we see how the sea also, of course, the sea will throw away whatever is the waste is there, but the sea water is now they have started a desalination project in Kakinada. They are going to, but we feel that the sea water, instead of throwing everything in the sea water, so fish and sea animals will die. We are seeing everywhere, every time, everywhere we are feeling it. Now that these are the main points. I feel we had water is life, and we had conducted in water for peace. But I say the need of water knowledge. So with these few remarks, I can conclude saying vote of thanks. Okay, madam, or anything more? Hello, I'm not hearing. You please unmute yourself. I'm not hearing you, madam.
No, you please go on. You please go on.
I can, yeah, no. My
Yeah,
points
but
are, uh,
you can do the vote of thanks now.
okay, then Dr. Raicy, I congratulate you and thank you so much for sparing so much of your valuable time and your knowledge also. Sharing time, of course, most important. Sharing knowledge is another most important thing. And thank you so much. And we can follow the some of the small points only. You have said many not scientifical. We can go our according to our knowledge. The points you have said, long term, short term impacts about climate change and the measures to be taken, the mitigation methods, everything you are explained very clearly and with what is called visuals also. Always visual impact is more than what is listening, so that is most important that we have taken up. That's most, thank you so much. And roof water harvesting, and in our olden days, just one more point, we used to have this what is called houses like this construct. So rainwater comes directly into the house, middle of the house. They built a tunnel to that backyards. The water falls in that count that go to the water directly into the backyards. That is also one of the way of harvesting. Previously, without their knowledge or not, I don't know, but they used to harvest water. This water harvesting, surface water harvesting, roof water harvesting. These are all the main points which we know, we see. As Ashar Deshpande said, yes, water is going on, and this is underground constructions. They will waste like anything water. They put the water, they will go it till they get the small points. So, as she said, the government has to intervene in these points. And again, to all the persons who present, because I can't name each and everyone, all the present and all have expressed their opinions and all they expressed they clarified their doubts. So, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to participate in this webinar and express my views, and also giving this wonderful opportunity of giving vote of thanks so much. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhanumati ji.
Thank you,
And
madam.
thank you, everybody, once more for participating. There are just one or two uh, points in the chat box. Okay,
Madam, I leave. I take leave.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I
With
know, I
your
know. I know.
permission, I
Okay,
am leaving.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am.
So much.
Thank
Thank you, madam.
you. Yeah, in the chat box, there are few comments. Very informative session. Thank you, Dr. Raicy, by Urmila. And Sadhana Kulshetra ji says, very informative session. Thanks. Then Meenakshi Kumar, thanks Bhuvneshwari ji, and congrats to Dr. Raicy for her elaborate and informative session. Thank you once again to everyone. And Sheila ji, thank you for joining and sitting through. Thank you, Kuljit ji, also. Indrani ji, Usha, you are there. That's a great thing for me. Vasanti Ramesh ji, Shailaja ji, Rekha ji, Usha ji, of course, Asha ji. Usha ji, I don't have to thank because she is a part of my, we are one team. Anyway, it
That
was.
goes without saying.
Pardon?
That goes without saying.
She is my guide and mentor, and I don't know what I will do without her. And I can blindly believe her because she guides me so well. Thank
He's
you,
mentor of
Jai.
so many members.
I know
Bhuvneshwari,
that. I know that.
he's mentor of so many.
I had the opportunity
Isha.
to work
She
with
will
her
now switch
closely.
off the. She will now switch off the meeting.
Bhuvneshwari ji, I had
Ji,
the opportunity to work with her very closely.
I know you all are very old friends. I'm a new friend. So, okay. Thank you so much for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's now stop, Usha ji. Thank you, Raicy ji, again. That was really wonderful. I'm telling you, the presentation, like Dr. Manjukak said, the slides were so clear.
Yes,
The
beautiful.
diagrams were so clear. We could, as lay persons, we could understand. So that was very nice.
So
We'll
thank
work
you,
together
Dr.
again,
Raicy,
ma'am.
and all the best. All the best for your career and in
All
your
the
life.
best.
Do very well, and we hope to keep associating with you in the long term.
You've
Thank you,
just
and
chatted.
thank all friends for joining and staying on till the very end. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Isha.
sir. Thank you.